the new museum and the Church of St. Karas. A Dutch mission under the direction of Dr Karel Innemée from the University of Leiden in the Netherlands has been working at the monastery for more than 15 years. The mission has discovered many wall frescoes in the Syrian Church of the Virgin Mary, which were covered by layers of cement rendering many centuries ago. The frescoes were found on several different layers of cement on walls which had up to 5 or more layers. The Dutch mission has been able to remove the frescoes, exposing more frescoes underneath. This has necessitated finding a building where the frescoes can be stored after their removal from the church and after restoration and conservation. Such a building was constructed in 2003 with specifications and supervision supplied by the Egyptian Ministry of State for Antiquities. The museum has been designed in the shape of a church, and the building used to be attached to the chapel of the Syrian Church. The altar of this new church has been named after St. Karas, where Mass is said every day. So, this building has a dual function, as a museum and as a small church. The museum is located in the southwestern part of the ancient monastery and bounded on the east by the Syrian Church, on the west by the cemetery, on the south by the ancient refectory, and on the north by the ancient fort, which is separated from it by a narrow alley leading to the monastery cemetery. The purpose of the museum and the Church of St. Karas is to provide an environment to protect the frescoes after they've been removed from the Syrian Church and after restoration and conservation. They have been hung in a comparable position in the museum, similar to their original place in the Syrian Church. Architecturally, the museum was designed to reproduce as much as possible the architectural design of the Syrian Church, to protect the frescoes which have been moved to a similar place in the museum as they were in their original position in the church. To achieve this, care has been taken to ensure that the geometry of the half domes corresponds to the dimensions of those in the Syrian Church. The architectural details of the 3 half domes in the museum, southern, northern and western, have the identical dimensions with their counterparts in the Syrian Church. Under the western half dome, at a lower level, there are 2 small windows, each in a half dome, one on the right and one on the left, which allows for ventilation and light. There are 3 domes in the east of the museum. The central dome is higher than the domes over the other 2 sanctuaries. The museum has 2 doors, one on the southern side and one on the north, which is the main door into the museum. This door faces the ancient monumental gateway into the monastery. The other door in the south is next to the ancient refectory, which is located at the end of the Syrian Church. The museum contains 3 main windows to create enough natural light to view the frescoes in the 3 half domes. 4 lower level windows have been designed to provide indirect light, and there are 2 additional small windows in the east, which are decorated with timber carved with arabesque designs. The first fresco to be moved to the museum was the Ascension of Christ. It has been relocated in the western half dome, suspended in a position corresponding to its original location in the Syrian Church, after restoration and conservation to display its colours. The fresco of the Ascension of the Virgin Mary, which was originally located in the northern half dome of the first choir of the Syrian Church, has been suspended in the corresponding half-dome in the museum. This was done after restoration and consolidation of chemicals behind the paint and the application of epoxy resin and fiberglass to consolidate the fresco. Cleaning and other conservation work completed the restoration of its colours in 2013.